Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Castle Wall. Today I'm going to talk about Batman Beyond, or in some countries known as Batman of the Future. Now, the cartoon was in my country there for a few years. I think we didn't get to see DC Justice League Unlimited, but we did get Batman the original series, of course. Well, we didn't get the Justice League series, but we did get Batman Beyond. Now, it was a cool series. I liked it a lot. It was, I think, slotted with gargoyles, maybe even Beast Wars back then. Cool show, and the action figures. They're from Hasbro, Kenner. I think Hasbro, most of them, or maybe all of them. They were insane. The designs were just crazy. Also for the movies and the Batman figures before that, the animated series, yeah, you had Fireman Batman, you had Mushroom Cloud Batman, you had Ice Popsicle Batman, but these Batman Beyond figures, they really, I don't know what they were on, but it's insane. Let's start with a few of these. Now, I'm gonna get the names wrong because the names are just as insane as the designs, but I recently bought this one. We still have an online store here in the Netherlands that still has some of these left new, so that's amazing. I think I bought all of them. I still need 2 or 3 more, and then I've bought all of that shop. The ones that he has from the Batman Beyond. This guy is called Ballistic. I need to say it right. Something with the word ballistic in it. Yeah, yes. He looks so cool. I got him a little bit later. I purchase these Batman toys once every few months. I buy 1, 2, or 3 of them from that store. But I already had this guy, and this was, for me, the coolest guy. I had this when I was a child. I sold it maybe 10 years ago, and then I rebought it. He still had it new. That same store still had this one new. And this was the coolest and the ultimate Batman from the series that I got. He looked like the one in the cartoon. Well, he's not black, but blue. Basic articulation, the big wings, these giant death sights. I don't know, he doesn't use them. Well, none of these designs are actually in the show, but that's how Batman toys work. Well, how it used to. Now we got McFarlane, but I'll rant about that in a bit. This guy was the coolest. Then I figured out that there was one that actually looked like the one in the cartoon, with an extra joint in the elbow, and he had the boosters. I also had that one as about 5-7 years ago. Sold that one. I don't know why. I do stupid stuff. I got this one later. Ballistic Blade, I think that's what he's called. Keep it on. Because in the shop, the screenshot, he kind of looked a little bit too much like this one. So I thought, well, let's get the other ones. Not these, of course. Other ones first. Opened them up yesterday or the day before that, and I realized that he has a different head. He doesn't have the standard mouth head, which I don't know if it's cloth or I don't. So he looks kind of like, not really Batman himself. He has a lot of details sculpted on him, but they all do. It's insane, and they're all asymmetrical. So there's no copying or mirroring parts, but they didn't 3D print or model these back in the day. He has this giant backpack thing. The blades kind of spin if you spin it, and yeah, I don't know what or why, but he just looks so cool, and he has these giant antler claw things on top, which are actually on joints, so you can have him point them at people, and yeah. Anyway, this is a cool guy. It keeps coming off. This is a very cool guy. And well, we looked at him just now. I need to print a stand for the mobile phone. Yes, it's a phone. This guy is so cool. With the wings. Oh, he's straight. He's very straightforward. Just a simple sculpt, no additional detailing, no cyber detailing. He just looks cool. He's a great base figure, and his weapons. Well, this one's also a blaster. It's just a spear scythe thing. I just really like the look of this. And because of this guy, and while I was starting to collect these again, I wanted also to have a figure of my own to match the overall the scale of it. So I made the Beyonder type. I upscaled it like 25% from the original mold, which is the original base body is 3.75 inch, so a bit more for Star Wars and G.I. Joe. So I had to upscale it a bit. She's still a bit shorter than a base Batman figure. I actually did make one with a suit, so it's not practically naked. Still have to finish her and do the smoothing filter, then cut it correctly. But I also need to do a lot of adjusting to these figures because I want them all to have the same peg joints and the peg holes so that I can use the paint stands that I made for the Planet Heroes and also use on them because they don't completely fit and I want it to be more uniform. Here is one that I actually made as a fan figure for the comic from, I think it's a completely Dutch comic. It's called Storm Roodhaar, which means redhead. That's why she has a red head. Yes, she is like this in the comic. I think maybe her breasts are a bit smaller, but she is most of the time topless, even though she has some kind of a jacket on. And yeah, she fights monsters and demons in a post-apocalyptic world. And it's just a cool comic with cool characters in it. And I thought, I'm going to make my figure of it. Next we have Batman. I think it's something like cyber search engine hyper whatever Batman. He's just cool. He has all these guns on him. And look at it. This is a lost art. I feel like nobody is doing this in the toy industry nowadays or for the past 7 years. I think it's completely dead, this over-the-top sculpting. This, I don't know what it is. I tried to model something myself, but I just don't have the creativity. I need to take more time in designing it, but this is just, it's all over the place. 3 barrels, kind of reminiscent of Exo Squad weaponry. And he has this goggle visor thing. This also looks like scuba gear. He has a backpack, jetpack thing, and also tiny little, I don't know what they are, maybe also jetpack enhancing things. He just looks so cool. And the color scheme is also okay. It's not the greatest. Speaking of the greatest, this guy is insane. It's Thunderwhip. Woo! Yeah, I cut it off when I was a child. Anyway, I rebought the figure. This color scheme, guys, look at it. Bolt gun metal, the purple, the white, it even has rings in it. And the detailing, the sculpting, these cables, this is just in... I'm going to start talking about McFarlane now. Well, I also collect McFarlane because they have the DC license. And where's my Batman? Do we have a Batman here? We must have a Batman here. Oh, yes. I'm gonna cut this out when I get editing software, which is never. Yeah, I need to search for it, but I need free time first. Okay, now we're gonna start talking. Should we cut this in a new video? Let's make this a long one instead. Maybe I'll cut it up later. This is the Arkham City or just Arkham Asylum Batman. It's actually a good toy. It's a great toy. The problem is, first of all, here we have a Marvel Legends guy, and there's my first issue, my first gripe. I need longer arms and a longer table. Get out of the way. Why, McFarlane? Why would you do this? We collect toys, and we would like them to play well with others, or stand on the shelf better than others. You don't actually mess with it. We don't. We do. Anyway, the scale, that's my first gripe. What the hell, man? Come on. Just... These sculpts, I mean... he looks like the figure from the game. It's perfect. It's good. He has good articulation. What I don't like about McFarlane is that he has rubbery stuff in it. Sometimes the torso is even rubber and it just has a skeleton underneath it. I don't like that. I like my toys to consist of solid plasticness. Not, well, capes and maybe some cloth on top that can be rubber, but not main body parts like this thing. Now, actually, his pants look pretty good, but normally they also have pretty big diaper-looking things, and I really don't like that. And you will never see McFarlane do crazy stuff like this guy. I mean, for DC, for the complete DC license, these type of action figures are completely dead. I mean, Marvel is still making some crazy stuff, like the what do you have? The Epic Hero series with the dinosaurs and the mech suits and all that stuff. That's still crazy. This isn't crazy anymore. Oh, well, this is just Arkham City Batman, and that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. But he's not making anything else than this. He has the superpowers line. Let's see if I have a superpowers figure. This is way off topic. Yes, Wonder Woman. Dear God, get out of here. You got Wonder Woman. Now you would say, okay, this is an actual toy action figure, not a collector's item thing or aimed at collectors. It's to mimic the old superheroes line. Now this, I actually kind of like her. She isn't perfect for me. The sculpt is, well, it's supposed to be the old sculpt, but the old sculpt is just backwards. It's just from millions of years ago. We have way better sculpts now. Marvel Legends. Now let me get one that's just skin tight to make a point. Here. Okay, that's not fair. Here we have Marvel Legends. I wanted to say Catwoman, but this is Black Cat from a few years ago, from a Build-A-Figure, the giant goblin monster, doomsday creature. If you're gonna do toy action figures, why not update the sculpt? I mean, I don't mind the whole lack of articulation in the figure, the basic articulation, the old Star Wars stuff. I don't mind that, but knees. That's actually a bit extra. But you can update the sculpt at least. I mean, look at this. I know this is all a perv talking, but that's what I am. And I do think there are other people that enjoy some good curves. This stomach, it's just flat. And if you're gonna make toy action figures, you can also update the sculpt a bit. I mean, I know it's supposed to be exactly like the ones from before. Just reissue them. Then we have this line, which I also don't get. They actually are a bit Marvel Legends. And, well, that classic 6-inch scale, but a little bit shorter again. They're also not 5-inch scale. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking about this because I'm going to need my pills again. Back to positivity. This guy, his color scheme is amazing. This giant thing. You can have it in his arm. So maybe it's kind of like a sword. You can whip it out. I'm just going to stretch it. And thunder whip the hell out of his enemies. That's one thing that's a bit of a problem with the old Batman lines. The enemies, I mean, they're supposed to beat the hell out of criminals, and I only have one. It's this Joker impersonator guy. He's actually a Joker impersonator because the real Joker, I think he died, or he got inserted into somebody else who went crazy in the movie. I don't remember. He's one of the Joker gang. And you have one more figure that's one of his henchmen. I think this is the leader. I don't even know if it's the leader. And he throws a little guy. And then there's ink. But they never made an actual ink toy. They just made ink as I think McDonald's or the other one. Burger King toy. I do have that ink. But it's a stretchy ink. It's a bendy figure, so it's not really an action figure. It doesn't have any articulation. The sculpt is good. I am gonna make an ink probably in that form, your form. And you have Blight, I think, as an enemy, which is rare. Hoping to get him someday, but lack of enemies. Now we still have more that I want to cover. This guy, I have no idea what he is called, and his color scheme is absolutely hideous at first sight, but I started to get a taste for the insanity. He has these booster giant things that also are cannons at the front. I think he just looks insane and he looks cool. I just love how the colors, well, they work. It's very color. The division is good. You have your main color, your what do you call it, secondary color, and then you have the highlights. But it looks like vomit. I mean, I love it. I love these guys. Then you have this guy. This guy actually made me get back into Batman Beyond figures. Why I bought something from that store again, Vision Toys and Games, and I wanted to add something and thought like, yeah, this guy looks crazy, and I need a villain for some other line, and I'm just gonna get him. And he's in completely, I think, transparent plastic, and just with some paint on. His detail, he's like, I first thought it was crystals, but they're just spikes. He's also some sort of cyber whatever, and his weapon is this. It looks like it's the bat symbol, upside down, of course. And I thought it needs something to go inside, but it just comes with this, and nothing goes inside. It's not spring loaded. It doesn't have an arrow or a missile. It can go on the back, but he just looks cool. He's just, yeah, crazy. I just love this craziness. And then you have this guy. This guy is a monster. I'm actually working on one of these that's based on this guy. So she already has the shoulder thing with the extra punching thing, but then I ran out of time, and my attention went to another base figure. I also have no idea how this is called. Something cyber, search engine, firewall, something nerdy. Nerdy, of course not. Something tacky. Yes. I just love him. He has this giant fist. Oh, not giant, but he does have a giant hand actually on the back. I love it. I actually modeled this for some other figure. I just love the fact that he has a giant hand on his back that can just float around and grab people. I imagine it does that. And that it, of course, slots in his back. He has the batarangs on his shoulders, which are not detachable, but still, they're there. And his design is just crazy. He's also asymmetrical. So all sorts of details on this guy. He wasn't in the show. He wasn't in a comic, as far as I know. So it's just a completely design from the Hasbro team. They just went crazy, and I miss that. I miss any action figure line that's out now, Jada Toys, Mattel, whatever. It all seems to be by the book. It seems to be back to the 80s. What did they do then? Here we have a King Hiss. And of course we have an Origins King Hiss. And we have the one from the 2000 X series, who's around here somewhere. But it's all the original designs. It's not... it's all the old designs. It's not something new. It's not something that's completely not related to the cartoon, to the media. And you got great designs back then. This is going to be a long video. On to this one, Licorice Batman. I thought he looked like licorice in the picture, and he actually does look like licorice in the picture. The bad one, the wine gum licorice that just tastes like soap. I like this guy. He has a bit of a weird articulation in the shoulders, not the regular here, the cut here where you expect it, but a little bit more close to the elbow, which I don't really like, but I don't mind. Again, this guy is like half a space marine with the giant boots, and also this tiny little, well, it's not tiny, it's actually very, very big. Is it a jetpack? It looks like a jetpack, but not completely. It has claws. Oh, it is a jetpack. With the hole again. Giant cylinder on his shoulder, and I have no idea what he's actually called. And I think I only came with this. Yet a bit more of the basic figures. That's just one Batman and one accessory, or with a bit more. I don't know if they were differently priced back then. Anyway, Again, a completely new design, asymmetrical. I have no idea if it's in a comic or wherever, and it's just, they just made these guys. And they made a lot. I don't even have all of them. And then they also repainted them and maybe even remolded a few in future lines like the Missions line. And then you have this giant thing. This guy is insane. He has some sort of mech. No, I think it... Scuba, get the hell out of here. I cannot even get him in the picture. He's too big. It's too big. Okay, I'm gonna go off script here. Like I have a script. Oh, you don't have a script. This guy is awesome. I mean, it's some sort of hover standing thing that I think enemies would have. The generic guys that you can easily blow out of the sky in the cart. What is this? It's the... Yeah, that's what it's stationed on. Anyway, this thing just looks amazing. I think it looks really cool. You see it in the old science fiction movies. They're very clumsy, clunky, completely impractical, but they just look cool. And it shoots this thing. Hope it would. Yes. Gimmicks, baby. Anyway, I like this. I like this thing. I'm just really happy with it. Do we have any more? We have lightning. Lightning Batman. Scuba gear. We actually have a scuba gear. Oh yes, this guy. Let's get his backpack. Oh, he needs... this one has a missile. Friction based. Let's get his thing on. This is also a cool looking guy. A Batman with the giant blades on his arms. A jetpack with the flames already coming out with the wings. Jet boots. Color scheme's a bit mid. I thought I had another one with about the same color scheme. Yes, this. Not entirely. I thought it was going to be the same green. Well, this is Scuba Gear Batman, which is not his actual name, but anyway. Anyway, stop with the anyway. This guy's just insane. Also, he has a little... It's not a jetpack, it's a propulsion system in his arms as well. This guy is cool. They're all creative. And then I'm gonna show a little bit more of my Beyonder ladies that I made. These are just a few repaints, different chest, different head. These don't have the smoothing filters, which you can see with the legs. You can almost count the polygons on this one, but you cannot on this one because it has a smoothing filter on it. The new ones, I'm gonna make a few new ones, I think, will have the smoothing filter. These are the crazy ones. Well, this one isn't the crazy one. This is the crazy one. They're called Beyonders. They were modeled after a Marvel Legends figure, but also a Quake 2 figure, from what I recall. Maybe even Quake 1. Anyway, they're base figures now. So, I think that's... Oh yeah, also this guy, this girl, monster thing, they're part of the Beyonder team. It's an eater on the body of a Lifeline figure, which is supposed to be about this tall. It doesn't have a smoothing filter, so you can really see the polygons, also because I varnished it, so the light will show how blocky and low poly she actually is. But I wanted a monster figure to go with these, so there's that. And that's it for this video. See you guys next time. Bye.